Dave, David Neocles here, coming to you from the armpits of New York, Times Square. I absolutely hate the place, but we were just walking through here for reasons that will become apparent later. We lost to Leicester, really disappointing. I think a win today and we could pretty much consider ourselves safe. But wasn't to be. I think we started well, took a deserved lead, and up until the penalty we were the better team. Disappointing to give that penalty away. You know, Sarr maybe should have not been as aggressive. I think he slipped a bit, but it was a penalty, let's be honest. And then it was pretty even the rest of the match. I thought Leicester looked fairly good today. They didn't look like a team that was flirting with relegation. So good luck to them. I honestly hope they stay up. There were other teams I would much rather see go down, but you know, we can't have room for sentiment. We should have got the 3 points today, and then that would have pretty much seen us safe. Now we've got to go into the next few matches and know that we've still got work to do, which is always hard. In terms of individual players, I thought Núñez was really quiet today, which I was really surprised about. Gomez was superb. There was one tackle he did in the first half that was just absolutely spectacular. I think he lost the ball and then just turned around and said, "No, you're not going to have it." And he tackled the guy and just took it back. I think he's an excellent player. Costa seemed a little quiet. He did seem pretty pissed off when he came off. So, you know, disappointing performance. I think a draw we would have been happy with. But on to the next one. So, that's it. Oh, look, Elmo's behind me. The things you see in Times Square. On to the next one.
Hello everyone, Brian from Thailand. Game finished about 10 minutes ago. Got beat 2-1. I knew it weren't going to be our day when I saw the Andy Madley as the referee, because you know he's a bit of a jinx and he's a bit of a waster and I don't like him. But Leicester our bogey side as well. Up to 35 minutes I thought we controlled the game. Got a good goal by Cunha. But when they got the penalty, which was a penalty because Sarr stepped on Jamie Vardy's foot, thereafter they seemed to put a spring in their step, and I'm not too sure. You know, Sarr saved us a couple of times in the second half, and I can't remember us having many chances apart from Neves' free kick with about 5 minutes to go. But no, didn't happen for us. I think that Leicester deserved the win in the end. I think performance-wise, 5.5, man of the match, hard to pick, but João Gomez for his running. But no, it weren't our day. We go again next week. Bye.
Hi everyone, it's Az from Palma here. So first of all, sorry for bad lightning, but my audio. Light bulb, I think it's called, it's broken, and I'm nearly outside the windows for it's getting dark. So let's get started. It's the only light I have now. Leicester 2, Wolves 1. Not a well played match. We got a stronghold on the game until the penalty. We can all agree probably Vardy would have scored, but I think it's easier to save a shot like that rather than a penalty. Anyway, a couple of things I didn't like about today. First of all, substitutions. It's actually both about substitutions. Time of substitutions and way of substitutions. I mean, I would have bring in both Traore and Podence, for example, together, but like 5 minutes, 10 minutes since the second half, you know, not like doing a double substitutions 5 minutes to stoppage time. For we started playing bad from the very first minute of second half, way before the goal, Leicester's second goal. So I really don't understand these substitutions, and why do we always have to change players at like 10 minutes to stoppage time? This is what happens. We could have bring home a point. I'm not saying 3. For Leicester put a lot of effort and probably wanted it more than us, and definitely needed more than us. But yeah, absolutely not trying to justify we were flat the whole second half. Just, I think right substitutions would have like helped us. So yes, a penalty, a bad foul from our goalkeeper, and bad substitution costed us 3 points, maybe 1. Anyway, we didn't get any today. So head up to the next one, which is on Wednesday. So not many days to rest, and it's against Crystal Palace, which, as I said, I really don't like. We lost 4 games out of 4 against Crystal Palace, both at home, away. Who cares? We always lose against Palace.
Hey Dave, Wolfman Jeff here on the porch in Chattanooga, Tennessee. Another game of 2 halves. The first half I was really excited about doing this video, so I don't want to forget how awesome the goal was for Cunha, and how Super Mario really did a fantastic job of setting that whole thing up. I felt real positive at that point. Later on in the first half, Jose Sa did one of the dumbest things I think I've seen him do, and they ended up getting a penalty on us. But I thought, okay, we're okay, because we were in control for most of that game in the first half. So go to the second half. I was hoping it wasn't going to be a tale of 2 halves. It was a tale of 2 halves, and we just crumbled, especially after the second goal. But it seemed like we lost our fight. We lost our organization. We lost our focus, and it just seemed inevitable. It was frustrating. That a lot of the players who played so well in the first half that started playing poorly in the second. There was only minor changes. I mean, you brought in Neves, so it's not exactly a negative change. So I'm not going to fault him on that. It's just, I don't know what's going on. I know that Leicester's a bogey side, as you Brits like to say. And so, but still, we should have done better than that. At least draw. It gets 3 points dropped. This is Wolfman Jeff. I'm going to go and eat some Fig Newtons and cry in bed. Out.
Hi there, Chris here in Athens. Leicester 2, Wolves 1. Definitely not the result we wanted. And it seems Wolves still struggling a little bit with inconsistency. I thought Wolves started very, very well. I thought we were the better team. And, great goal from Cunha. And I was at that point I was feeling quite confident that Wolves could go on and get another one before half time and kind of wrap it up, especially given the fact that until that point Leicester hadn't really had shown much really. I think the penalty was definitely a penalty. Unfortunately Sarr clipped him, didn't mean to do it of course, but Vardy was round him, and so definitely a penalty, and of course they took the penalty very well. I think after that, Leicester seemed to grow in confidence and settle more into the game, and Wolves kind of struggled to assert that same level of domination for the rest of the game, which was unfortunate. And I think this game was one of the games where, Lopetegui's substitutions that are usually so effective, perhaps were not so effective this time round. I thought Martinho come on, made quite a few mistakes. I thought Hwang was pretty much ineffective. And so I don't think these changes necessarily helped. It was interesting, of course, to see that we chose to start with Neves, and I think if that second goal had gone in the first half, then that would have definitely left some food for thought. But of course, Neves came on, was a bit unlucky, I think, with a couple of the free kicks he had, and worked very hard, won the ball back a lot, and good to have Neves back for sure. In terms of man of the match, I think despite the fact that we lost, and despite the fact Sarr gave a penalty away, I thought he had a really, really good game. And probably saved 2 or 3 attempts that could have, should have, perhaps been goals. Despite everything, I would say perhaps Sarr was man of the match and made some good saves for us. So next one up, Crystal Palace, who managed to draw today at Everton. So that's going to be an interesting game to look forward to on Tuesday. We have to hope that Wolves can bounce back and get that 3 points we need, because it would be nice to keep that distance away from the relegation zone. So from Athens, always Wolves.
This is Chris from Oslo in Norway. Moments after that game, and I'm going to be totally honest, it was totally unforgivable to lose that game against that opposition from the position we were in. It can't happen, and it has just happened. We were so dominant, so much better, and of course it's a mistake by Sarr, who's become a liability. He has become a liability now, and I think it might be time for a change of goalkeeper. That's one mistake too many. He's cost us the game. There's no question he's cost us the game there. We go in at half-time 1-0. We win 2 or 3 easy. We were that dominant. We really were. The half-time substitution of Neves for Lamina. Now, obviously, we don't know if Lamina was injured. Didn't look it. Now, the big question before that game was, does Neves come back in the team? Most of us said no, and it was good management from Lopetegui to not start him, because the guys for the last few games deserve to start. The question also was, and we debated it, many of us, for quite a long time, are Wolves a better team without Ruben Neves? Now, there's your answer, isn't it? You saw the answer, you saw the evidence. Great player as he is, a legend for us, totally. But it's just not the same. The game's slowed down and we don't create as much. We're not as effective when he's on the pitch, unfortunately. It's strange to say that for such a great player, but the evidence is there. We are better without him at the present time with the players we have available. I think also a lot of the substitutions that the manager made were wrong. You know, we cannot really have Moutinho and Neves on the pitch at the same time. We've seen it. It's so slow. That midfield was so dominant first half. They won everything. Everything. First balls, second balls, third balls. They were so dominant. And we lost it second half. The manager has to take responsibility for this. But the goalkeeper's lost it for us. I'm furious. I'm really, really mad about that. It's not often I'm really, really mad. They haven't won a game for 9 games. And we've given that to them from a totally dominant winning position. It's unforgivable, and I hope it doesn't cost us.